Wide in one then is Hard to Figure. 5-1 Ray Cochrane from stall 4. The Blinkered Easy Dollar. 6-1 Pat Edery. From 3, the Puzzler. 9-4 favourite Willie Carson. Big good forecast, wasn't it? 1 and 3 here. Then number 4, drawn 6, Wave in a 5-1 chance with John Reed. From the 5 stall, High Priority at 5-1 Richard Quinn. And from the 2 stall, King of Peru 6-1 Jason Tate, who won 3 times on the horse last year. The jockeys are mounted for our Quail Condition Stakes. It's over 6 furlongs.
And there is the Puzzler. Very useful sprinter when over in Ireland, winning 2 listed races, both in soft ground. He was always occasionally seen to go lame during his race.
And the Puzzler is the favourite at 9-4, High Priority at 5-1. On 11-2, Wavian, Hard to Figure and Easy Dollar. And King of Peru just the outsider of the half dozen at 6-1.
Well, Hard to Figure has always been a great favourite of mine ever since I actually tipped him to win the Our Gold Cup when he did it. He has been a wonderfully consistent sprinter in the top sprint handicaps and really showed last year that he was very little, if at all, below his best. He ran well in the Our Gold Cup, the Portland and the Stewards Cup, always doing his level best, and the only one he won was the Hackwood at Newbury. But in that race where you saw him running behind Fire Dome and the Puzzler, he again didn't show any sign that he's deteriorated. He actually meets the Puzzler on slightly worse terms, but I don't think that necessarily is going to make any difference. There won't be much between them.
And High Priority, which is the other horse in shot there, with Richard Quinn aboard from Mick Shannon's yard.
He's coming in now. The feature event at Chepstow on 5-1 Easy Dollar. Wavian and Hard to Figure both at 11-2, and King of Peru is the 7-1 outsider.
Expect the pace to come from stall 3. The Puzzler made the running last time. The grey Hard to Figure nearest to us. The 6-1 line of this Quail Stakes. It's 6 furlongs. It'll take about 1 minute 12 seconds to run. And King of Peru a little bit slow to stride, and the Puzzler is very smartly away, so too Easy Dollar, and these two share the work. With the grey Hard to Figure on the outside, with Wavian and High Priority following them through. The Puzzler then gains the day. 2 in second place, Easy Dollar, and then King of Peru, the dark green jacket, red cap on the outside, striding out well. Wavian and then High Priority went to post a bit keenly, and the old boy Hard to Figure just a bit outpaced. And it's the Puzzler, the leader by a length or so. King of Peru on the outside of Easy Dollar. These are 2nd and 3rd, and then we've got High Priority the outside of Wavian, and the back marker is still Hard to Figure. And they're well past halfway, come down to the final quarter mile, and the yellow sleeves, the Puzzler, Willie Carson just has the edge to Easy Dollar and King of Peru putting in a finish on the outside. This trio are clear of the others. Just over a furlong to go, and the Puzzler yet to be headed. Easy Dollar, the white colours on the outside, the blinkered runner. King of Peru folds in 3rd, Hard to Figure picked up. They're inside the final furlong now. And it's the Puzzler and Easy Dollar and Hard to Figure, who's really starting to pick up now. Easy Dollar into the lead as they get out of the line. It's Easy Dollar, but here comes Hard to Figure with a very late thrust. It's going to be close at the line. Oh, Hard to Figure and Easy Dollar 1 and 2. Then we have the Puzzler followed by Wavian, and then High Priority, and the back marker is King of Peru. The outcome of this Quail Condition Stakes, it's a photo. The judge calls a photo, no doubt on that evidence that the old boy, Hard to Figure, 10 years old, has come from last to first to take this Quail Stakes and win his 14th race. Brilliantly ridden by Ray Cochrane, who gets on with the horse so very well. Trained at Somerton by Ron Hodges, ridden by Ray Cochrane from last to first in this Quail Stakes. Second horse home is Easy Dollar, the white jacket there, worn by Pat Edery. And I just thought that, well, perhaps Pat might have taken it a little bit easy. I don't know. Review the closing stages. 3rd horse home is number 3. That's the Puzzler. We'll find 4th, number 4, 5th, number 5, and 6th, number 6.
From last to first, and from the outside to the inside, because the old grey was drawn on the outside of all these, but Ray has quite rightly switched him over to the rails. He loves to come between or inside of horses. The Puzzler still in front of Easy Dollar at this stage, and really at this stage no sign that Hard to Figure is going to have one of his going days. Well, as a matter of fact, they're almost all going days. but you still would have given it, made it a tremendous task to get there from where he is, where he and Ray Cochrane are now. But now the gap's beginning to close. Easy Dollar hits the front. Pat Edery riding only with hands and heels at this stage. I don't think well, maybe you could, maybe he could have been riding a little bit harder. If he did take it easy, it was fatal.
Absolutely, but it did cause some great whoops and cheers from up here in the commentary position, seeing a lovely old horse like this winning yet another race.
Come on in. Hard to Figure, so popular with the punters for so many years, returned the 11-2 joint fourth favourite of 2, 11-2 Hard to Figure, beats the quite well backed Easy Dollar, a 5-1 chance, with a Puzzler who drifted on the course, sent off the 11-4 favourite, and that Hard to Figure at 10 years old, the oldest winner in 13 runnings of this race, the 7-year-old Lonely Street, won this in 1988, and it's the third win in the race for Ray Cochrane, who won it with Bold Les in 93, and Revelation 6 years ago. Hard to Figure, these old sprinters, they keep on going. He looked to be outpaced early, came storming along so late. Hard to Figure. It's often hard to figure when he's going to win, and when you get him right, you certainly do at 11-2.
Thanks, mate. You're great.
Well, there has to be a question, I suppose, about the champion, whether the champion jockey gave Easy Dollar sufficient encouragement. I don't blame him myself, because it seems to me that Easy Dollar must have felt to Pat as if he was going to win pretty easily. But the fact of the matter was that the grey horse Hard to Figure was gaining hand over fist, unknown to Pat. So let's watch now and see whether you think he took things a bit easily.
Well, I think at this point, obviously, Hard to Figure is well out of the reckoning, but Pat is obviously chasing the Puzzler, and he's only using hands and heels at this point. So, I mean, hands and heels was enough to chase the Puzzler and to get him there. Now, it may very well be that this horse is not a horse that responds well to the stick, in which case Pat had got him there. He's given him a slap now. He's up with the Puzzler, and I shouldn't think he had a clue that Hard to Figure was coming after him. That, of course, does not help Pat Edery, because in that case, if he is slightly dropping his hands at this point, it is because he did not realise the horse in second was as close as it was. And Ray Cochrane rides this to perfection, because he just puts that horse's head on the line in front. Quite splendid, and I should think Pat Edery issued a few expletives about 10 yards beyond that picture.
With me now, Mr. and Mrs. James Mansell, who don't just own, but bred Hard to Figure as well.
Yes, he's homebred.
Homebred, and you've won, what, £200,000?
Well, something like that. I think that's what the papers say. We've spent it all.
Incredible. I mean, what did you breed him? Was it luck or what?
Yes, a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I think it's always luck, isn't it? I mean, I bred a full brother to him, and he could only win point to points and over hurdles,
is that right?
which is ridiculous, isn't it, when you look at this horse? But this horse is so brave. I mean, as you well know, I mean, he's 10 years old. They don't get many running at 10, do they?
Yeah, true.
And he keeps on. He's got better and better. He's won a couple of listed races for me.
Yeah.
I just don't know what you say about him, really.
I mean, have you tried retiring him or not?
No, not at all. He's so happy. I think a lot of it's down to the boy now. That look, you know, this lad Christopher, who looks after him. I mean, he just plays around with him all the time, and you can see the horse is happy. I mean, when he wants to pack up, I mean, he'll obviously get packed up, but really, I think.